yeah, more firewood product and longer blade life.
Now guys, listen, I'm not going to admit to getting old, but I found these Carhartt safety glasses with bifocal readers in them for like $8 on Amazon. I'm gonna put a link down in the description because I know there's some of you out here who would find that pretty handy. It is what it is. What's up, my man? Well, hey there, hobby homesteaders. Welcome back to Peaks Peak. My name's Lucas.
And I'm Caden.
And we're sharing our hobbies here on 38 acres in eastern Kentucky. And today we're back up in the wood yard and we're making an upgrade to the sawmill. Now, we started out, we had to do some service. So we changed the oil on the mill and kind of got it all ready to go. And I've got a log I'm getting ready to set on the mill, and then we're gonna do the setup for our upgrade. And I think it's pretty cool. I think you guys are gonna like it. Maple's running around, having a good time. She likes it up here. Don't you, Maple? Huh? You have a good time up here? So what are you gonna get into?
I'm gonna go get my bow.
Oh, you wanna shoot your bow? He's got a little target back here, and he's got a diamond razor edge, is that what it's called? Yeah. Nice little bow that will, I think he's got it set on about 35 pounds right now, but it'll crank up to about 60. So he'll be able to use it for hunting and all that, and he's starting to get the hang of it. Yeah, your arm workouts, so you can get buff. How's your exercise going, training for your 5K?
Good.
You going every day?
Almost.
Almost?
Last week I hardly did anything except for those 2 days.
Well, yeah, because we were traveling and all that. What do you do when you go work out?
Treadmill.
Yeah. How far do you go?
30 minutes is the time limit, but usually I go like a mile and 15.
1.15?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna beat that this week? Try to go 1.4? I think that's your goal up at this week. Can you do that? That's what you got to do to get in better shape. You got to keep doing just a little bit more and a little bit more.
I usually go on speed 3.
Yeah. Well, you can pick that up. Go 3.5. All right, I'm gonna get to work. I wanted to kind of give an update because we've been trying out our Artillion forks on the back of the tractor with the land top 3-point skid steer quick attach conversion. And man, this thing has just made the Kubota an all-around woodyard workhorse. I can move full firewood totes with that, and I also find myself picking up pallets and moving them around. I had a delivery the other day and I just backed up to it, picked it up, backed it into the garage, set it down. It works really well on the back of the tractor for that purpose. You don't have quite as much tilt, can't pick up things from up high and that sort of thing. But just for moving stuff around, it's fantastic. And I believe after using the forks to place logs and using the grapple to place logs, that I really prefer using the grapple for placing smaller logs. Now, the larger logs, I need the extra lift of the forks, and it gives me some other options to where I kind of like the forks for the biggest logs, but I can control how softly I set them down on the mill with the grapple. And if they're small enough, then I can just curl the grapple all the way down, set it down, and then unclamp and move away. And that seems to work really well. So I'm still trying both, but this configuration of the Kubota BX is just perfect for this operation here. I'm loving it. All right, so guys, I thought I would go ahead and share with you the upgrade that we're about to make to our mill. I'm not the best at sighting down a log and figuring out how much of a cut we can make. So when we make our first cut and take the first slab off, I usually end up wasting several passes with the mill head because I don't want to waste wood. I decided if I had a way to accurately sight down the log a little better, then I could probably save the life of my bandsaw blade as well as not waste wood. So what I got is a Lasgu LG30X laser off of Amazon. Lasgu reached out to me and asked me if I would be interested in reviewing this. And it was just perfect timing because I was actually looking for a laser to mount on my sawmill. And this laser is rechargeable. It has like a 10-hour battery life and it's super bright. I'm gonna turn off the vertical beam so it doesn't blind me. And the horizontal beam, I'll kind of shake it around here and see if I can't shine it in y'all's eyes here. There we go. Now, it will, if you're not holding it level, then it flashes. It is self-leveling, and what I'm hoping is that I can mount this on the edge of my bandsaw head here, line it up with the blade, shoot a laser down the log, and be able to make my whole operation more efficient. We're gonna see how we can get this thing mounted up. Now it comes with a cord to charge it with, USB-C cord, and it comes with a magnetic mounting base. The only drawback that I'm seeing so far is that this will stick out from the front of the mill head. And if I'm loading logs tight to the mill head, I'm gonna have to remember this is there and not break it. Now, this laser will also work on any tripod. So like your camera tripods, the tripods I have for my GoPros, it has the screw hole mount on the bottom of it. So you could mount this on a tripod and set it up out in the field. Now this is not like a transit laser with a receiver or anything like that, but this is going to be useful also in our building and all of that, because I was thinking about how I strung a string and used a line level to put my headers up in this mill shed. And if we had a laser like this while we were building, then I could just set it up and shoot a laser and I would know exactly where I'm headed. Pretty cool concept. These are relatively affordable. I'll put a link in the description so you can check them out. Well, all right, guys, we have the Lasgu laser mounted on the sawmill. It's 10 after 11, so it's about as bright as it gets under this sawmill shed. And I can spot the laser all the way down through here. Now, it's not crazy bright at the far end down there, but I can see it pretty well. And it does give me a good reference point so I can sight down the log and see how it's gonna lay out. It's gonna cut to about right here. And I'll tell you what, let's just do a test run. Yeah, so I see the line. You can see it on his shirt. Slide your shirt right up against it. It shows up better on there. Yeah, there we go. You got laser line on your belly. You can see, let me get this set up. Yeah, you can see the light of the laser shining all the way in a circle. And I'll show you how we mounted this, because I didn't want to bore you with the whole, you know, sticking it on here, marking it and drilling. But this is self-leveling as long as you have it close to where this little laser eye can pivot inside there a little bit. Now, I will tell you, I intended to mount this upside down with the laser hanging down so that the whole mount was on this mill head. However, the self-leveling function does not work upside down, so you can't do that. So the only way to mount it and get it in line with the blade was to hang it down below the mill head outside of here. So I drilled a hole and I put me a bolt and washer and lock washer and nut on there, tightened that down. It doesn't matter if this moves a little bit. So if this was to pivot, the laser, see, it will, if you get it too far out, it can't self-level now. So as long as you get it in that range where it can level itself, then it doesn't matter if that stays perfectly still, because it's going to self-level itself. And then once you're milling, it doesn't really matter where it's shining. You're not watching the laser to cut. I need to get past that softwood, the sapwood on the outside. So that's pretty much where I need to be on this log. And you can see how it kind of bows down at the end down here. So I'm going to be taking a big old cut out of there, but I think that's kind of the least waste I can get. And so what that's going to do is, normally I would have cut this and made 3 or 4 passes before I decided to take that much wood off of the log. Now with that self-leveling function, of course, we've got a little bit of vibration when the engine's running, so it's kind of worthless to have it on when you have the actual mill running. But All right, guys, now another thing that this accomplishes is when I can make one good accurate cut to get my slab off of the side of a log, well, I end up with bigger pieces of firewood instead of little scraps. I think that's going to give me a better product on the firewood side of this as well. I think this laser thing at least is going to be helpful to me until I get better at judging and eyeballing how to make these cants. If you can't see your line very well, if you put your hand right here, you can tell exactly where it's going to. We're going to end up right here in this sapwood coming across there. And that's going to be about perfect, really. All right, guys, now here's where I think this laser is going to shine in helping me learn how to lay out logs. I can see the line all the way down this freshly cut log now. And if I bring it to the very edge of my cant, I can see the laser all the way down through here. It's right here at the highest point on the end. You can see the laser on my finger, so we're right there. That's what we're shooting for. Now you can see this log has a major crook in it. Now I would have made 2 or 3 cuts to take this off of there before. So while I don't necessarily think the laser is 100% accuracy, I think it's going to help me save my blades and make these cants in a shorter amount of time. I'm going to cant this log in 4 cuts, whereas it was taking me 12 or so before, because I just was too tentative about how much I would take off and not wanting to waste wood. Yeah, more firewood product and longer blade life. I picked one of the tightest logs for this. This one's like 10 foot 3.5 inches, which is like the maximum length that you can cut on this mill. So I have to start the log right against the blade to barely get it to come out the other end. See, here's where it shines, because I would have stopped back there, but you can obviously see with the belly in the live edge, there's no way that we would get any wood there in the middle. So I can go to right here. That puts me right dead on the edge of that live edge right there. We're gonna get 5 3/4 in, and actually 6 3/4 wide. Considering how crooked this log was, that's about the best we could do. You guys can share with me how you would approach a log with that big of a crook in it, because I mean, it really, you know, when I first shined the laser down the side of it, I wasn't even sure we were gonna get this much. But I think this laser is really helping me visualize what's possible with the shape of the log. I'm gonna mark this end again, like we've been doing. When I first put this on there, I didn't think I was gonna like it. But after using it and cutting a full cant, I am impressed. I'm not sure what I want to make out of this cant, because I literally loaded this log just to test our laser. I think I'm going to leave this log sitting on the bunks here under the roof for now, because I have more siding to do, and this is not quite wide enough to mill into siding, but I may need more batten strips, and if I don't need batten strips, then I may mill some like 2x4s or framing lumber, or even make a post out of this for some of the other sheds that we're going to build down the road. I hope that you guys enjoyed seeing our little upgrade to the mill here. I literally think I'm going to use this laser for cutting my logs into cants. Now, I don't see really any need for it once you get past that, but just sighting down the logs to figure out how much of a slab to take off of it, it really is helping me. Now, I may get better at sighting down the logs and doing that on my own down the road, but what I'm really excited about is the amount of firewood in larger chunks that I have on my slab table now. Because normally what I end up with, and you've seen me split, you know, little thin pieces of slabs. This is pine, and so this is camp firewood. It doesn't matter a whole lot. But when we get into some other, you know, hardwoods, we want to produce some legitimate firewood out of these slabs. So when I can maximize the amount of firewood I take off instead of turning it into smaller pieces of waste, I think that's going to be beneficial. So I'm going to get these slabs cut up into firewood and fire up the split fire 2265 and split this wood, just because I think it's going to be fun. And that's our whole process here. That's what we do. Well, guys, till next time, get outside and enjoy God's creation, because it's beautiful out here. Y'all have a good day.